if you want success in any area of life, you've got to start managing your emotions. I don't mean control your emotions. I don't mean stuff them. I don't mean ignore them or not pay attention to them or kind of shove them down and don't allow them access to you. That's not what I mean. I mean manage them. And by manage them, maybe I'll share a little bit. Emotions come and go. Emotions come and go in relationships. I mean, there are times where I don't like my wife. There are times where I really like my wife. They go back and forth. There are times where I'm absolutely in love with her, and in times where I'm like, what did I do? Okay, like that happens with everyone. Okay, now the beauty is that the times of bliss, the times where you're enjoying somebody in your life can be increased, and you have power over that. So when I talk about my wife to anyone else, I talk about how incredible she is. The reason I do that, the main reason I do that, is to influence my own emotional state. And I'm completely serious with that. Now, she is amazing. That's true. She's a wonderful woman, and she's a wonderful partner in life. I would not want to do it with anyone else. Having said that, at the beginning of our marriage, there were lots of times where I was frustrated with her, where the emotions that were maybe on the what people consider the negative side of emotions came up a lot in relationship with her. As we've been together, those come up less and less, but there are times in my life where they come up a little bit more often. Same with my kids. Same with my business partners, or relationships with other people, or whatever. Their emotions are always going to come and go. Know that emotions are based on your attitude. They're based on on whether you've slept enough. They're based on whether you're having indigestion. They're based on lots and lots and lots of other things. Okay. Emotions are going to come and go. They're going to come and go about your business, about you believing that you can succeed in business, about believing you can succeed in weight loss or better physical health, or eating differently, or exercise routine, or whatever it is. What I want to really focus on is how you can manage your emotional state. Here's how you do it. I already gave you one tip, and that is talk about the thing that you want in life. Talk about it in a positive light. If you talk about, if you talk about exercise in the morning, or waking up early in the morning, or making sales calls or whatever in a really positive light, you talk about it great every single time anyone says anything about it. You publicly declare that it's incredible, and give reasons for it. The more you do that, the better you will feel about it. I'm going to give you a really quick example again of something that happened to me. This is how I learned this. When I was just out of high school, I was working, paying for my university by working for a small entrepreneur. He had a crew of like 3, 4, 5 people. And I was working for him. It was a landscape construction company. So we were out all day, sometimes like 12, 13, 14-hour days every once in a while. And it was a beautiful job in so many ways. But I found in the second season that I was with him, and I worked for him for quite a few summers, the second season I started going, this is a horrible job. I don't like this job. It's awful. I was thinking about all the negative things in it. Because of that, I had a hard time waking up. Because of that, I had difficulty in every area when it came to working for this man. And he was a good man, okay? Still is a good man. But what I started to do, and I don't even remember how it started. What I started to do was I started to talk about all the positives about it. Anytime somebody asked me about it, I would talk about what I liked. So when somebody would ask me what I do in the summer, I say, oh, it's an incredible job. I get to work out like all day, and it's kind of like a construction type job, but I don't have to wear a hard hat. I don't have to wear like steel-toe boots. I wear like these like shorts. Sometimes I work without a t-shirt all summer. I get a great tan, and I get great. It's a great workout. I work all day. I've got a fair boss who pays me a decent wage, and like I would focus on everything that I was appreciating about it. All right, I'm learning new things all the time. When I started focusing on all those things, every single time somebody asked me about it, or every time I thought about it, guess what? The third summer, I started loving my job again. And it's amazing. I found it amazing how our mind has such a huge, it's such a determining factor on our emotional state. It's the entire factor. So what do you want to do with working out, with exercise, with food? I want you, every single time somebody talks about the thing that you want to do, that is to your own benefit, to your own health, what I want you to do is talk about how all the great things about it. In the morning, practice being grateful for it, okay? And practice and don't be false. Don't go with rose-colored glasses. I mean, if your grandma died yesterday, be like, oh, it's so wonderful she died. I'm so glad to be rid of, like, be careful with what you're saying to yourself, all right? But find legitimate positives in what you're talking about, and you'll be fine. So that's the first thing. Talk about it in a positive sense. The second thing is to keep at it. Consistency, repetition is the mother of invention. It is the mother of finding delight in things. It is the secret sauce to life is repetition. All right. So if you want to have positive emotions about something, for example, I'll use marriage or a partner. Okay. If I want to have good feelings towards my wife, I will invest more in that. And I will think about what I want, and I will focus on the goals in that area, and I'm going to dedicate my mind space to that activity and make sure that every time I talk about it, it's in a positive light. If I do that day after day after day, multiple times every day, what will start to happen is my emotional state about that activity or about that idea or whatever it is, that relationship, will start to be more and more positive. If you know me at all, the way I talk about my kids is with delight. Every single time I talk about my kids, every single time I talk about my wife, every time I talk about my job, every time I talk about money, every time I talk about my exercise routine, my morning routine, anytime I talk about those things, I am extremely focused on the positives. You will be hard-pressed to find me talk about the negative things in that. Not because they don't exist. Positive and negative exist in everything. Not because I'm not realistic, not because I have rose-colored glasses. The reason I do that is because I know the way I talk about something affects how I feel about it. And I want to like my wife. I want to like my kids. I want to like what I do for a living and my morning routines, and all those things are helping me towards success in the areas that I want to be successful in. So I talk about them in a positive light. I'm going to get you as an action step. What is the area that you most want to work on? We are all working on many areas in life all the time, but what is the one area you want to most work on right now in life? And ask yourself, what do you want to get out of it? And how can you talk about it? What are some things that you're grateful for? What are some things that you're excited about? What are some things that you want in that, or that you think are wonderful in that area? And write them down. Now, that's not going to change everything. Doing things once is not going to change everything. If you've got decades of negative thoughts and feelings and an attitude about something, it's not going to change with one day. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to write it down every single morning. You can write down the same things. You can write down different things. I suggest finding different things all the time with some similarities all the time, okay? So like, for example, if you write down 3 things today, you can write down 1 thing every day. It doesn't matter. But write down 3 things today. The more you look into what you're excited about, the more it will change your emotional state. Here's the last tip, okay? The last tip is engage with the emotions. When you write what you're grateful for, what you're excited about, I want you to engage a little bit in that, okay? The more you're able to tap into your emotions in the moment, related to the activity, the idea, the relationship that you're working on, the more you will engage your emotions, the more you will set them off, okay? The more it'll affect your attitude. So those 3 things, I'm going to summarize them really quick, and then I'll take off here. I'm going to take out my little son out for breakfast this morning. I'm excited about it. So, number 1, talk about something, whatever it is you want in life. Talk about it in a positive light every chance you get. Okay? Be annoying with it. Seriously, compare it to the relationships you've got. Most of the relationships you've got are junk. Okay? Not all of them, and not the core relationships, but most people, like, you won't know them within a couple of years. They don't really matter to you, okay? Not that they shouldn't, but they simply don't. I'm being pragmatic about this, okay? So why would you sacrifice your joy and happiness and success for a relationship that's not going to last another week or 2 or a month or whatever, okay? So who cares about what you look like on the bus or anywhere else, okay? Embarrass yourself. That's fine, okay? Yeah, so number one, talk about things in a positive light. Number two, repeat that constantly. Do it every day, do it multiple times every day. Number three, engage with the emotional state that puts you in. As you engage with your emotions, you have far more chance of feeling good about it, all right? Do these three things consistently. Let me know how it goes. It's changed my life in many ways, like, along with other things, but this is one key concept that's changed me in many ways.